I used to work in customer services. Not anymore. You couldn't pay me £1,000,000 to take that job. Not after all that has happened. I was off shift, browsing through the clothing section for something to wear that night for my friend's party. Not exactly high-end fashion, but I would get employee discount, which was all that mattered really. I picked up a dark blue blouse, and as I checked it over, a woman pulled her trolley up behind me. She was just average. Average height, average weight, black coat and jeans. She had a wide-mouthed smile, a little too wide, made my back shiver to look her in the eyes. She leaned over and grabbed another blouse from the display, held it up, then shoved it into her handbag. My heart pounded. I'd seen people trying to steal before, but not so casually, not with such confidence. I started to calmly walk away as if I was going to pay, but headed towards security instead. I didn't want her to freak out and run off. I was almost to the security desk when she pushed her trolley in front of me, bringing me to a halt. "I was going to pay for it," she said. "I just didn't want to put it in the dirty trolley." I didn't know what to say. She continued. "These trolleys are never cleaned. Think about all the germs on the bars." "You know I'm right." The security guard met my eyes. "You know I'm right," she repeated. By then security had come over. After an embarrassingly slow time of checking her bag, it appeared only the blouse was in there. They gave her the benefit of the doubt, and after watching her pay for it, security quietly asked her to leave for the night. "You," she said to me as she walked to the exit, "you know that won't suit you, right?" I looked at the blouse I still held in my hand, and before I could say anything, she had gone. I just went ahead and brought the blouse. I just wanted to go home after all that weirdness. I'd put it out of my mind by the time I was at my friend's party. A few hours into the night and an awful itch started across my arms. It spread across my chest and back and throat. I scratched hard enough to draw blood, but the itching got worse. I started to cough, struggled to breathe. I must have passed out because I woke in a hospital bed. The doctors said I suffered an extreme allergic reaction. They set up a load of tests for me, and I spent the night, and several days afterwards, desperately trying not to itch the angry red scabs that had appeared all over the top half of my body. I had to apply layers and layers of cream until life was finally, almost, back to normal. Back at work, I fell straight back into routine. I kept an eye out for the woman. It was her fault. I knew it in my bones. I was checking out the food in the reduced section for lunch at work one day when I heard her gentle voice behind me. She looked exactly the same, grinning her wide-mouthed smile at me. My stomach dropped. "I wanted that," she said. She pointed at the food in my hand. "It's not good for you. You know you shouldn't eat that, right?" Before I could even work out what I wanted to say to her, she had walked around to another aisle. Shaken, but not wanting to waste any more of my lunch break, I brought my lunch, just a reduced instant meal, and went to use the microwave in the staff room. Who was she? She creeped me out, that's for sure. Why hadn't I said something to her? I should have followed her, chased after her. I should have confronted her about the blouse. I was so annoyed I put a forkful of food in my mouth without looking. There was a sour taste and something hard crunched beneath my teeth. I quickly ran to the sink and spat it out. The food on my plate had a thick layer of green fuzzy mould. The vegetables were grey and rock hard. I shoved the whole thing in the bin and tried not to be sick. It definitely wasn't mouldy when I'd brought it. I checked it in the microwave, hadn't I? It was fine when I plated it. Had the woman done something? But I'd had the food in my hand the whole time. I was starting to panic. My arms started to itch again. Thankfully, my manager let me go home. I decided to walk instead of catching the bus, hoping the fresh air would get rid of the nausea and calm me down. On my street, before crossing the final road before my house, I heard a car pull up behind me. My heart raced. I just knew. I knew it was her. I was frozen in panic on the edge of the path. I didn't turn around. I hoped she would just drive off. Then I heard her quietly, barely audible over the car engine. "You should look both ways when crossing the road. You could get hurt." She was smiling. I just knew it. "You know you should listen to me, right?" I heard a car drive off and I leant over and puked in the street. I took a few deep breaths and felt a little better. I'd gone past freaked out now. I was downright terrified. And now, did she know where I lived? Exhausted and in need of a drink, I quickly crossed the road, straight into the path of an oncoming car. Luckily, I'd only got bruised and scratched, but I'd banged my head hard. Apparently, I still have concussion. That's why no one believes me, as I lie here in hospital, telling them to find the woman that did this to me. I just want her to know, so that she'll leave me alone. I know she's right. The customer is always right.